one gets the sense, you know, I just want to talk for a few minutes about the mosque. And I'm not going to ask you about what your feeling of the mosque is, but one gets the sense, and I think that the Muslim community in America sees and understands the opposition of a portion of the American community, of the non-Islamic American community, as based in anti-Islamic sentiment, Islamophobia, whatever you may say. But are there people, and I think this is the concern of many of us, are there Muslims who understand that non-Muslims can be opposed to the mosque and that location, but not be opposed to Islam? Are there Muslims who understand that Americans, and especially the Jewish community, Jews who might be opposed to being built right there, would say, build it anywhere else. This is a free country. We welcome you into this free country. We want to make you a part of the mosaic of American life, but not there. Are there Muslims who understand that distinction well enough, or has this just engendered greater suspicion and on the part of the Muslim community of the rest of the American people?
You know, one thing you have to understand that the Muslims are very much diverse. You know, not only in terms of ethnic or cultural backgrounds, but also in terms of opinions on issues. And I used to say, if you see 3 Muslims, there will be 9 opinions.
They say that about Jews.
Yes.
We had that first, remember?
And so basically, not all Muslims support that project.
Right.
You know, all Muslims support the mosque to be built. But building the mosque in that particular area, basically not all Muslims support it. And particularly, if I have to mention a group, and that is the group of Imam Warithuddin. Imam Warithuddin basically is the son of Elijah Muhammad, the founder of the black movement called Muslim, what do you call it? Nation of Islam, yeah. But then he became Orthodox Muslim, he became a mainstream Muslim. That's why he became an Imam. But his father remained as, in fact, he proclaimed himself as a prophet, where Muslims do not believe in that. And so the majority of Nation of Islam turned into the real Islam. And so Imam Warithuddin formed a group called Muslim American Society, or American Muslim Society, sorry. And this particular group basically is in opposition to that particular project down there. I spoke to the imams and others, and they said, I simply disagree. That we have already many problems, why you have to create another problem for us. And not only that, the silent majority basically, I mean, the majority of the Muslims are basically taking the position of don't care. Okay? But there are some others who support it. Even those who support it basically, not necessarily they support it because of the location, but because of they are worried and scared that if they move it, they will run behind them. You know, you move it 10 blocks from there, they will say it's still 10 blocks. You move it somewhere else, they say, you know, this is New York City, you know, don't do it. Because there are some other mosques, of course, in different parts of the country, in Memphis, California, in some other areas. And so there are some Muslims basically worried that it is not really necessarily the location, but maybe because there are kind of, intention that is undesirable behind that. And that's why particularly this group will support that, not necessarily because of the particular location, but because of, yes, they are worried that they might be hunting us wherever we move.
You know, I don't know if Joe Potasnik mentioned this to you, but probably it was sometime in September when the Board of Rabbis tried to create a meeting between the Board of Rabbis, the Archdiocese with the Archbishop, and Imam Rav, to see if there was a way in which together we could find a commonality, that if we could find a way that the 3 religions focusing on only one thing, what would God want us to do? What would God want us to do? Not what politics might require us to do. What would God want us to do? To show that we can find a way to live b'shalom, in some peace. And we tried to have that meeting, and I don't know if you know it, but of course there were two parties that agreed to it and not the third. Because we really thought it was a moment. It was a moment for religions to come together and say, you know what? There is a way of taking this terrible situation and making it a win for religion. There's a way for it to make it a win in which everyone would say, we did what was best for everybody. We did what we would think that God would want us to do as human beings created in God's image. It's unfortunate that that meeting never took place, didn't happen.
You know, by the way, we issued a joint statement, and I was one of the persons who signed that with the Archbishop
and with the Board of Rabbis,
and also the Council of Churches. And so, but we met with Joe and several weeks ago, and we agreed to organize at least bi-monthly meetings, Muslims and Jews, and also with the Catholic Hall. Yeah, so I think we need to start to do something. Individually, I've done a lot with some rabbis with all denominations of Judaism. I'm proud to say that I'm connected with Reform, I'm connected with conservative and also Orthodox. I'm working with Rabbi Rubenstein, and I'm working with Pitzolsky, GTS, and I'm working with Aaron Pankin, Hebrew Union College, and certainly with Rabbi Merrick Schneier and others. And so, but I think we need to do something kind of communal, on a communal level. It's not only individuals. And so the Board of Rabbis wanted to meet with me, and we are going to arrange some groups to meet with them.
Can we look forward to other Islamic leaders joining that discussion, do you think?
You know,
I mean, we're wearing you down. We're wearing you down.
One of the things you have to know that our relationship, Muslims and Jewish relations, like how you call it now, love and hate relationship. They want sometimes, you know, really, can we do that? Really, can we do that? Will they accept us? They want to talk to us? There are many. I've spoken to a lot. You know, in the beginning, in the very beginning of my journey with Jewish people, with the rabbis, some of those say, how did you do that? You know, especially that I'm not non-Middle Eastern, not South Asians. I'm probably the only imam from Indonesia in New York City. You know, different faith. You know. I said, how did you do that? I said, the problem is you're sitting, you know, just inside of the walls of your mosque. You never gone out there and meet with other friends. So you have to get out from the mosque and reach your neighbors out there to speak to them. So many of those basically are willing. You know, I have spoken to some imams basically because of the commitment with the Board of Rabbis, and they agree to participate. And so I have 5 or 6 imams ready to take part in our